My name is Sudarshan Verma. So I'm a postgraduate in commerce. So I have been in this teaching line for the last 22 years almost. From 2002 onwards, I have started these applications. I was into implementation for a few years. Around 18 years, I was into implementation and support. So I've outside India, I've come back to India last year. I started teaching. I started my career as a professional trainer in the year 2002. From 2002 onwards, I've been associated with the Oracle applications. Let me find out whether other people are joining. Even if they join also, we can cope up with them. Now, you're able to see the screen now, Shravanti?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, the course that we are trying to learn here is Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Application.
Okay.
So there is no need for us to have any coding knowledge in this to learn this course. It is only a functional setup. This is only a functional analyst, a business analyst, or a functional consultant. You will explain you need to understand the business processes and make the setups according to the requirements of the customer. That's all. Functional setups. But in Fusion, if you have some little knowledge about the structured query language, SQL, you may have to develop a small reports like OTBA, Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence Reports. That is like drag and drop system. There is no need for you to write a big code about it and get the report. Already the fields are available. Already the tables names are there. So you will have to link up what information you want to have from the table. You can just drag and drop type. OTBA reports are there that a functional consultant can do it. Now here we are trying to learn the course called Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Application. Actually, it is Oracle course, Oracle company. Fusion is the a model of application software. Then cloud also is either there are two modes of launching the applications, either on-premise model or on cloud basis model. On-premise model means the customer will have to have license, you have to buy the software, he will have to buy the servers, then he will have to maintain the network, database administration, everything he only has to take care of his database administration. So that maintenance cost will be so much for him to maintain the servers and to administer the servers, everything. So cloud computing came into picture. Now in this cloud, we don't need to maintain the servers. The servers are kept somewhere else remotely. We do not know where they keep, but virtual servers, we work with them. As you have your Gmail account or Yahoo account or any other mail accounts or something, if you have an account, you will be able to access the mail wherever you are in the world. You can access it from your mobile, and also you can access it from your tablet or from your laptop or from your desktop, wherever you are there. As long as the internet connectivity is there for you, you'll be able to access your mails. Same way, the cloud applications are also launched in the cloud platform. So wherever you have got internet access, so you'll be able to log into the application and you can carry out the transactions. So that is a cloud model. And also financials. Let me explain to you what is Oracle and how the Oracle company has emerged here. Oracle was purely a database company in the beginnings, 1980s onwards, they have started it, 1980s. So they started as a database company, languages like that. They used to have database languages because they used to have the database also. Administration they used to do in the Oracle only. And they used to have the structured query language to generate the reports, structured query language. And Oracle also has got the PL/SQL, a programming language. PL/SQL, a programming language of the structured query language. PL/SQL is structured query language, programming language. of structured query language of SQL based on SQL. Programming languages are the so many languages are there. There you got the C, C++. Also, you can do programmings. They are also different. But here, the programming languages they write, the codes they write, cursors, everything they write is using the structured query language. So that's why they say it is called as a PL/SQL language. This was only purely on the database related activities they were doing. In late 90s or mid 90s, they come out with the Oracle Fusion Financials applications. They have developed an application. You know what is the difference between database and application? Mr. Praveen, can you explain?
So database where we store the tables and our view where we store the data, and
Yes,
application
correct.
where we use the application graphical based, GUI based.
Yeah. If you have only database, if you do not have an application, what do we do? You have only database. You want to maintain the database without any application. Is it possible in the modern days?
No, it is not possible.
Yeah. Database also, normally whenever you create a database, it is there in the form of different forms, but one of the forms is tables. So these tables again is in the rows and columns. Yeah, rows and columns. So here we say the rows and columns. Database is tables, rows and columns are there. This is how the database is created. So whenever you want to insert the data, you have to write a query, then only you can insert the data. Whenever you want to enter, if you have only database, then we can only insert. The data insert means you will have to interact with the database. Whatever the language is there, database language, you need to write commands and send the write commands and enter data, write commands and retrieve the data. If you do not have any application like that, you do not develop, you have the database, no doubt. You cannot how to put the data into that. Suppose today you have sold some 10 items. So those 10 items, when you have sold it, how you will be able to record that in your database? You will have to write a commands for that. So then again, you'll have to write a command and retrieve the data from the database. So that is it possible? Always it is not possible. It's cumbersome. In the beginning days, of course, in the beginning days, there was no other alternative for them, so that they used to go for that. Then later on, they have developed an interface. They have developed the interfaces to interact with the database. An application will, on the other hand, will have application. On the other hand, will have the database is there. So for the database, you will have the interfaces like forms. If you want to enter a data record to create a new record, you will have to fill in the form somewhere and save submit. You're not writing any command. You're just writing, filling the form. The form is connected to the database. Whatever the page you see and whatever the form you see there outside, where you enter the data to save the record, then you will save the record. So that means whatever the field you are entering there, the field is connected to the table, one of the columns. So the data is entered there. Same way, when you want to retrieve it, if you want to retrieve one record, you can go to the form and query one record. But if you want to get multiple
Okay.
records, then we'll have to have the reports. We'll have to write reports like that. We have to create the customization or reports we need to develop and also get the data back. Develop reports to retrieve data, bulk data. If you have one or two columns, if you want to have, you can get it the interface itself, query, and then get that into the form. One by one record, you can see that. If you want to see all the records in one go, so that's what you will have to develop the reports to retrieve the bulk data from the system. So this is called the difference between the database and the application. Application also will have a database. Only for the database to interact with the database is of you writing commands. So then you will develop the interfaces, right? That's called forms or pages where you will input the data or you will query the data. So in case you want to get bulk data, various records from various locations, then you will develop a report also. Then you will see that. This is called the application part of it. So the Oracle Financials, though they had database company only initially, they started Oracle Financials applications to interact with that. But that application is not as good as the current ERP systems. It was only character based, no GUI. Mr. Praveen, you know GUI, right? So the GUIs were not there. Only character based. Anything you want to get information, you will have to write a command and bring it back. Anything that you want to put into the store, you will have to write command and store the data into that. So it was not also even internet enabled. So only through the LAN system, then they used to connect it to the server and they used to send the commands and get the data. It, there was no internet. Only locally you are able to connect it. That is the release 11 was the first release. Sorry, the 10.6.2. Oracle Applications Financial in 1996. So they have come out with the version called 10.6 also. So like this one is character based. Then they came out with the internet and application. They came out with the release 11i, but with the limited applications. Not only here, not only the financials. Here it was purely financials. Oracle Financials modules only with Oracle Financials applications. So that's why Oracle is always popularly known as any ERP of Oracle is called Oracle Financials. Because the first release came with Oracle Financials. That's why this is branded as Oracle Financials. So now not only financials in this release 11i, they came out with the supply chain, they came out with the HRMS and also manufacturing modules. This was internet enabled. Wherever you can get connected through the internet also, you will be able to connect to the server. The server can be in US, but you can log in from India by getting the VPN, virtual private networks connections. With that, you will be able to use the application, use the server there. So that was internet enabled. After this one in the year 2003 or 2004, early of 2000s, they have released with the release 12 upgraded. Latest version was the release 12 was the e-business suite. So in this release 12, a new software they have developed. Same software, upgraded software version of it. So they have come out with the financials, supply chain, HRMS, production, customer relations, projects, all the other things also they have introduced. Up to this point, Oracle was using only Oracle Forms and Oracle Database. It was internet enabled, but they were using only, and some applications were added, Oracle Forms and Oracle Database was used. So Oracle Forms and Oracle Database was being used up to this point, 11. But when it came to the release 12, they started using Java Forms also. In addition to their forms, they started using Java Forms also. Java Forms, you see that internet applications, wherever you see, they are called the Java pages. I will show you them what is the Java page and what is the Oracle pages. Then this release 12 was started with 12.2.1 version and now it is latest. Still it is continuing. They have not closed that. That version is still going on. That is latest version is 12.2.15 and it is continuing support up to 2035. Oracle is supporting the clients using this ERP system up to 2035 also, even the previous versions also.
టెక్నికల్ వాళ్ళకి అదే టెక్నికల్ వాళ్ళకి చేస్తున్నా నువ్వు తీసుకున్నా
Yeah.
ప్లాన్ ప్లేస్
So then again, please mute it. Please mute it. Then release 13 is there. The latest version of the application is release 13 cloud.
అది ఎవరు సార్ అది ఎవరు 1+1
Hello. Mute చేయమను కొద్దిగా please. Yeah. Release 13, they have released it again. Latest one is the cloud-based application. Oracle Fusion is the cloud-based applications. As more and more customers were not able to manage their servers on their premise, and they were going towards the cloud computing. When the cloud computing technology came, when the people started supporting the applications on the cloud platforms, Oracle also has come out with a cloud applications, the same applications, but they have built it all over new application. This is not an upgradation. From 11i to 12, we have upgraded. Same platform. So now from 12 to 12.1, 2.15 also we can upgrade applications and database. But whereas this cannot be upgraded from release 12.2.15 to Fusion. This is a altogether new implementation. This is altogether a new implementation. So this cannot be upgraded from release 12. This cannot be upgraded from release 12 to release 13. We need to make all our new implementation. It is almost it is a new application. It is altogether a new implementation. It is a new implementation. That's what the difference is. That we have to again implement it from the scratch. We need to implement it. New implementation. The Fusion is a new implementation. So like that. So now they came out with the Oracle cloud was coming. When the cloud was coming, Oracle has purchased some other software companies. There were some good companies already working on the human resources, PeopleSoft application company. Hyperion was good in planning and budgeting, and Primavera was another one as the project management. So JD Edwards is called good in financials and manufacturing. NetSuite was also an application. All these companies were bought over by Oracle, and what are the best processes they had? So those best practices were included in the Fusion. Fusion means clubbing more than one together, integrating more than one together. So bringing two or three forces as one force. So that is called the literally Fusion means. Because they are coming out with a new release, with this altogether a new set of applications. So they wanted to take that opportunity and integrate the best practices of all the other companies they have bought over, and they were integrated into the Fusion applications. That is why we call it as a Fusion applications. Fusion applications. So as I said, this is a cloud computing. You don't need to have server in your premises. So cloud can be somewhere else. But in the cloud computing companies provide three kinds of services in this way for the cloud platform. One is SaaS model, software as a service. Second one is PaaS model, platform as a service. IaaS model is infrastructure as a service. So here in this software, the software is owned by the company, Oracle itself, or SAP, or Microsoft, any company that provides this kind of service. They own their own software. So their software is given to multiple clients. Software as a service. This model is adopted by some of the software companies like Oracle, SAP, Salesforce, Workday, Microsoft Dynamics, etc. Because they have their own software. So the same software is given to multiple clients. So multiple companies will share the same software. So that is the reason why we cannot make some customizations for the applications here. The software is one used by multiple people. So we cannot have any customizations there. But reports can be customized. Reports is nothing but manipulation of data to represent the data what you have in the system in whatever the form you want to have. Right? Even anybody can have his own style of looking into the data in the form of the report. So somebody may need only 5 columns, some other may want 6 columns, 5 or 3 columns, like that they can go for it. So that is called the customization of the report. Report is nothing but representation of the data from the database system as per the requirement that you want to have, parameters that you give it. So that is not a customization. The same way, the same cloud company, we can also go for PaaS model. This is platform as a service. This model is adapted by software development companies only, same companies, but they provide their software. They manage the services, network and database administration services. Here also the same. Whenever there is any upgrade, they apply the patches to the system. Same thing here also. But here, the difference between SaaS and PaaS is, here we'll have our own platform. The server space is allocated for us specifically, and they give us the software also, along with our own server space. No other person will have access to our server. So we have our own platform. That's why they say is platform as a service. Because we have our own platform there, so we can make some customizations for this application. So then that is called the pass mode. We say only a few customizations because if you go for more and more customizations, whenever you try to apply the patches, maintaining the database will be difficult. So that's the reason why they allow us only minimum customizations because software is theirs. Whereas there is another model called IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Cloud company, computing companies, they do not provide us any software. They don't provide any software. We are at liberty to go for any of the softwares that we want to use. We use our own software. Service providers give us the server space and they provide the network for us. We can have our own software. We can make any number of customizations here because software is yours. You are going to make there, maintain it, database administration. So we can have any number of customizations can be made by us because we are going to maintain. So nobody else shares. And software is also our own choice of software. May not be our own software. We may not have developed, but we may have purchased from somebody, or we may have developed. Our in-house team may have developed certain applications. Those applications we want to launch in the cloud platform. So now people will have the access to the cloud platform. So like this, these are the models that we have. 3 models we get into that. So here we are going to teach you the core modules for the setup and process. We explain setup and process for all the applications we learned here. One is the general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash management, and fixed assets. These are the ones. We make setups as if it is a fresh one, a new implementation altogether. When you want to go to the site to implement to the setups to the customer, what all the setups you need to make, those setups will teach you here. And also after making setups, how the clients use it, usage of it. Suppose in the general ledger, what are the kinds of setups you can make? How you can go and post the manual journal entries, how you can go and update the rates, exchange rates, foreign currency rates also. Same way, if you come to the accounts payable, how you will enter the invoices submitted by your vendor, how you will process them, and how you will make the payment for them. So these are the modules, module specific setups, and also the processes we will explain to you here. But in addition to that, there are 2 processes normally in Oracle applications, either Fusion or e-business suite. They are called procure to pay process. Though you are a financial consultant, so you cannot totally be unaware of from the purchasing and inventory because when you want to make process the invoices of the vendors in the payables module, then you need to understand the purchasing model also. You will match purchase order to the invoice for ensuring that we had a valid purchase order with the vendor. So that's why we are making payment to him. Or sometimes you can match your invoice with the inventory. That means goods received from the vendor are matched to the invoice before making the payment. So this is the process. So better you have acquaintance at least. We don't teach you full setup of it. We just take you through the process, how the purchase order is raised, how a requisition is raised, right? How it is converted into purchase order, how we receive the material against the purchase order into the inventory, right? Then how we process the invoice in the payment. Once we enter the process, the payments, how the accounting entries are created, how those accounting entries will go to the general ledger. So this is starting and this is the ending part of it for any transaction. Then that is procure to pay process. There is another process called order to cash process. This order to cash is order entry. That means order management. Order entry or order management is the application. We can call it as order management also. In that order management, we enter the orders, we confirm the orders to the customers. We ship the material from the inventory application to the complete the order. That means ship confirmation. Because you have to ship the material, right? You have taken order from the customer. So against the order, you need to supply the material and you need to provide the service. So then only the order is closed here. So once the ship confirmation is done, the information related to the customer, the product, the rate, the quantity, everything will be interfaced from the order management to the account receivable application. In the account receivable application, we create invoices on the customers. Then customers make the payment against the invoices. Then they go to the general ledger. Entries are going to the general ledger. So this starts here and ends up with the general ledger. Every transaction that we create will have a financial impact. So necessarily we need to create accounting entries for every transaction, and it has to translate as a financial amount and go to the general ledger application. Final. So like this is the course that we are going to teach you here. Now, this is going to be not only for one company. This is an ERP. This is Oracle is called, not only Oracle, SAP also is called. These are all what we are learning is an enterprise resource planning application. Enterprise resource planning application. So we can simply call it as ERP. Everybody popularly known as ERP, but ERP stands for the Enterprise Resource Planning Application. So this software, once you learn it, or once you install it in your system, or once you take Oracle Cloud applications, your entire enterprise operations can be accommodated in these applications. It helps you to record all the transactions related to your entire enterprise. What is the enterprise? Enterprise is a large business organization like Tata's and other things. So Tata's may have their ledgers in different countries, right? Because they are doing operations in USA, they're doing operations in India, they're doing operations in UK. So different countries, maybe they are doing around 80 countries, they are doing their operations ahead. So that means they have to record the transaction. Ledger is nothing but a group of accounts. A ledger will have four constants: currency in which we are recording the transaction, on which date we are entering the transaction, that is governed by the calendar we define, and chart of accounts means list of accounts that our ledger has it. We can have any number of accounts to our ledger. If you want to maintain the accounts in very minute detail, you can create one account for it. Or at the major level only, you want to have major heading accounts, 100 accounts you want to have, you can have 100. Or if you want to go for 1000 accounts, detail level, you can go for the detail level of accounts. But all the accounts will rest in the ledger accounts. So when you are doing your operations in USA, you have to have ledger there with a currency called USD. In India, you will do operations in Indian rupees. So now you have to create Indian ledger with Indian currency as the ledger currency. In UK, it is GBP. So for transactions there, you will create a ledger with GBP currency. So that means an enterprise has to have multiple ledgers. If their operations are global operations, then they will have to create multiple ledgers for recording their transactions in different countries, because each country's currency may differ. That's why they create the ledgers, different ledgers they create. So this one ledger, we are creating one ledger. It is in India. Assume that we have created one Tata India ledger. In India, Tata has got multiple companies like Tata Steels, they have got Tata Motors, they have Tata Chemicals, Titanic Watches, and Tanishq Jewelries. All these are all different companies. They are called legal entities. So now one ledger can be followed by multiple legal entities or the companies as long as the four C's are same. This is called four C's: currency, calendar, chart of account structure, subledger accounting method are same. Then the company, any number of companies can follow the same ledger. Means we are recording multiple companies' transactions can be recorded into one single ledger. System allows it. Then at the time of you want to preparing financial statements for each of the companies, so you can retrieve the data on the lines of each of the companies. So then one company can have operation. This is called organization hierarchy. First one is the top enterprise you will create. Then afterwards we will create the ledgers. This ledger, the companies that are following this ledger, who wants to record their transactions in our ledger, has to be associated. Tata Motors is linked to this India ledger, and Tata Chemicals also is linked to the Tata India ledger. Because They both share the same currency. Their calendar means financial calendar. Our Indian financial calendar starts from 1st April and ends up on the next year. That's called fiscal year of calendar. So that's why we say whatever is the calendar, 4 C's are same, then they can follow the same ledger. And one company, this is called legal entity or company, this can have their operations in multiple locations. Company is same. Suppose you have got Tata Chemicals. Tata Chemicals has got Tata Fertilizer Unit in Babrala, Uttar Pradesh, and Tata Salt Unit is there in Dwarka, Gujarat. These two people do manufacture two different plots. Plants are different, but ultimately the operations are covered under the Tata Chemicals company. They have to report their operations to the company, and the company will produce the financial statements and they give it to the customers at the company level. If they got profit in fertilizers unit and a loss in the Tata salts unit, so they cannot say that because we pay tax and we do not get any concession from the government. They will club all their operations together as a legal entity, then only they will represent it, they will produce it to the government. The financial statements are generated by the company to inform or to publish their operations in the particular year to the stock exchanges, to the shareholders, and to the register of companies also. So one company can have multiple business units. One unit can have the
ఏంటంట
inventory organization. One unit can have the inventory organization. Any number of inventory organizations they can have. Inventory organization comes under the operating unit. So inventory organization is a logical one. Below that, you will have a sub-inventory where you will physically store the material. We store the material physically into the sub-inventories. So like that, it will go. This is the organization structure. So we have here only the one general ledger. As we said, application is enterprise is this architecture. The general ledger where we can record the transactions of all the applications. Here we can post manual journal entries in the general ledger. But accounting entries, transactions are created in the accounts payable, account receivable, fixed assets, cash management. When you create transactions there, those transactions will be created, accounting entries are created for those transactions by the system automatically, and optionally it will transfer them and post into the general ledger. Optionally, I call it because we can do it manually or we can automate it. That's what I said. Optionally, system can transfer them and post it into the general ledger also. Same way, inventory and projects also. Once you get all the accounting information into the general ledger application, from there we will generate trial balance, we'll prepare profit and loss account, then we'll prepare the balance sheet and publish it to the customers, to the shareholders, and also to the government. Other people also we can submit it. So that is why we have got information in the general ledger only, all the financial information that we will retrieve it and post. Then how to achieve this? How to report it? One general ledger, multiple companies. How can you get the records for different companies? That is why Oracle has given us a flex field structure here. They have given us a field. While entering the accounting data, Oracle has given us so many fields, 30 fields they have given here with a 246 characters length. So we can customize it and we can put into the data of different companies. Company one segment, you can make a partition for the company there in that flex field. You can enter the company values. So if you want to have the business unit, next level, so where it is there, Pune, Hyderabad, location like that, you can input the data. So there is a facility for us to input the data with multiple dimensions and which goes and sits in the general ledger here. So from the general ledger, we can retrieve the data per company basis. And we can prepare the trial balance, we can prepare the profit and loss account. All those things can be achieved. So this is what the application ERP is going to do. Yeah. Any doubts you have, Mr. Praveen or Shravanti? Any other things you want to have information from me? Please ask me. I will explain to you. Yeah, Mr. Praveen.
Nothing. No more question.
No question like that. Shravanti? Shravanti, are you there?
Hi, yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Nothing, sir. Actually, I
Uh,
want to learn this from basics to everything, sir. From one class, I'm not able to understand this
no,
because my
definitely. No, I
uh,
have given you the demo only. I have given you. I'm explaining to you that this is an ERP application. In the
uh,
application, we have got a single cloud basis application is this. And
okay.
we'll have the general ledger financials applications or general ledger, accounts payable, account receivable, fixed assets, cash management are the modules. These are the areas you will learn. That's what I'm telling. I did not teach
Yeah.
you anything so far. I
Mm.
only told that these are the areas that will be covering into that. So what
Okay.
is a general ledger? How to create the general ledger? How to post the journal entries? How to make the setups for the accounts payable? All this is the course, right? The entire
Mm.
course will continue
How
for
many
one.
days course is this, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. 90 hours. The teaching will go take place. Minimum, I need 90 hours to explain you the setups and also the processes.
Oh, 90 hours. Okay.
90 hours. Though 90 hours daily class may go up to 1.5 hours time. So it can be completed in 60 days, but you may go on leave for some time. People may go after leave. Sundays will come. And also
Mm.
sometimes I may go on leave for a week or so. I may have some work. So taking all this into account, a maximum 90 days, 90 hours, 90 days like that, we can set a target. And you need to have time also to practice it.
Okay.
See, when I'm teaching here, I don't want you to people write the notes. That's what my philosophy. I've been doing it to all the people. So whenever I'm doing the setups and everything, I will give you the notes like this. I will prepare the notes online. Whenever I'm teaching, I will type here and and also I will go through that. So this kind of notes you will get automatically after the classes are over. So with clear explanation and other things. And also you will get the audios, or sorry, videos. So you can go through the navigations, how I have got.
This is
Navigations
only
is
online
clear.
classes, sir.
Huh?
This is only online classes.
Yeah, now, for now it is online classes only. If people are coming, there is Amirpet, then 4 5 people are there, then we can arrange a offline class also. If
Mhm.
you do not understand anything in the online classes, if you want to meet us on Saturdays, Sundays like that, Saturdays especially, then I will come to Amirpet. There we can explain to you what all the doubts can be clarified.
Okay.
That weekly once we can have a long, lengthier sessions for us to clarify your doubts and also to make you practice also. The
Okay.
instance will be given by the institute people. The instant, Mr. Tirupati will give the instance here. So what we will give you is that we'll give you the notes like this. That means navigations part of it. So
Okay.
and also I can give you the accounting entries because these are all connected to a financials application. Every transaction we enter in any module, in any application, like payables, receivables, fixed assets, they will have an accounting impact. System has to create accounting entries. We will not create any accounting entries manually unless it is the general ledger. But in the sub ledgers, what are the applications that you create, transactions? Those transactions are to be accounted for automatically by the system when you run a request called create accounting entries. So, but we need to know, as a functional consultant, we need to know what account it has to pick for that particular event and where to set up. So, all these things I will teach you there. Setups I will teach you, and what is the functionality, what entry is to be made here, how the account has to be selected here, everything I will teach you
Mhm.
there. Apart from 1.5 hour class every day, you also may have to practice 1.5 hours, 2 hours minimum.
Sir,
So,
I'm from BCom background. I can learn this easily because I
yeah,
don't have any software knowledge. Only
no, no,
Tally
no.
and BCom.
That's what I'm telling you. No, Tally, if you know that, is very good, right? Tally is also is the basics of this application only. They also will
Mhm.
have the same thing, but they will. This is not an interface application. There also you have ledger. There also you have got currency will create. There also you create the
Mm.
account, trial balance, balance sheet, final accounts. Everything you prepare there, right?
Yeah.
That is the same. But of course, that is a smaller application. This is a wider application, bigger application. To learn
Mhm.
Tally, it may take 1 month for us or 15 days. But here to learn this, it takes time, months, because this is robust application.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is one
How much?
Mr. Viresh who is already working on a weekend. He joined us last week in another batch. So he is doing excellently well. He does not have got any software knowledge, but he has got in that ERP. What is the tally? Tally. He is working on tally. So whatever term I am telling, he is able to understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't think there will be any difficulty. Yeah.
How much fee you are charging for this course?
That you can talk to Mr. Tirupati. There are counselors who are coordinating with you. That they will
Okay.
talk. I am
Hmm.
here to teach you, and I am also here to take care of other academic lines. What are things you want, I will tell you.
Okay.
Where do you
Thank you.
stay? Nearby Amirpet?
No, Secunderabad, sir. Tukaram Gate. It's nearby Malkajiri.
Tukaram Gate. AOC Gate, next Tukaram Gate. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So no, not too far. You can come to Amirpet easily. You can come to Paradise or anything in the
No,
front.
sir, I know
Uh,
Amirpet.
you know Amirpet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then coming to Amirpet is not so difficult. On weekends, if you have time, if you come there, then we'll be any doubts if you have. Most of the doubts we can clarify online itself. Specifically, if you want to know certain things, then we can meet on Saturdays and I can explain to you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Praveen.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. See you.
Is there any class for the weekends only?
Well, so far, we don't have any weekends batch. What are your timings? Office timings?
The office timing is Indian timing 9 to 8 because I
9
have to
to 8
travel. Yeah, traveling time is also there.
traveling time
So,
also. So we'll plan for
so
that.
have a
We'll
meeting.
plan for that. In case you want only the weekends batches, we also will consider that. So on weekends, we'll teach. Weekends, how many hours you can spend? Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, and instance is also available testing.
No, no. Saturday, Sunday, how many hours you can spend it? That's what I'm telling.
I can spend 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. That means we'll take 1.5 hour class. You practice 1.5 hours. Then again, we'll take 1.5 hour class in the afternoon like that. So you can practice it. That way also we can accommodate you. So we'll try that. Yeah. Some people are also asking for the weekend batches. In case of weekend batches, then we'll definitely accommodate.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Praveen, can you share that contact details for class informing you next class?
Yeah. Contact details. Your
Yeah,
contact
contact
details need to
details
be
will
given.
share to me. Will inform you in the classes and all.
I, th-
Praveen?
I think I think Shravanti has shared it.
Yes, yes. Seventh
She,
is here. Praveen is
oh,
not yet shared.
okay. Okay. If you share the contact details, then you will be able to. We'll get in touch with you. So if any
Okay.
weekend batches are there or any other convenient times are
Yeah,
there,
batch
please.
timings and all will inform you.
Okay.
Can you share?
See.
Ping me in chat.
Yeah, I am just thinking.
Okay, no problem, no problem. If you are interested, then you can share the contact with them, Tirupati, or you can